In the headlines, Togo opens land border with Ghana after more than 50 days that the Ghana one opened. Parts of Achimota Forest no longer a forest reserve. And as the discussion unravels today, the Sector Minister Abu Jinapor says the forest has not been sold and will not be sold. Unemployed nurses embark on street protest. Seoul Inquirer calls for sanction for private developer who demolished the Bulgarian Embassy building. And Ghana Armed Forces commences 2022 enlistment exercise. We start with some good news from Aflao, where after more than 50 days of Ghana reopening its land borders to neighboring countries, Togo also on Monday night opened its land border with Ghana. Our Volta regional correspondent Alberto Mario Noretti today visited the Ghana-Togo border and sent in this brief.
At about 8:30 a.m. Tuesday at the border post in Lome, the metal gates which were closed between the two countries for 2 years in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic were swung open. That notwithstanding, both sides of the frontier remained desolate with little human movement and commercial activities across the border. Today is the first day and some people in Lome and Aflao have not yet heard about the reopening, said a senior Togolese immigration officer. Similarly, on the Ghana side, Assistant Commissioner of Immigration in charge of the Aflao sector said the number of human and vehicular traffic across the border would definitely increase in subsequent days. Graphic Online gathered that some heavy-duty vehicles were using the ECOWAS border post at Akanu, near Joje, some 50 kilometers away from Aflao, and that has contributed largely to the low volume of traffic at the Aflao border post. Later in the day, a few hawkers turned up at the border post in the hope of doing brisk business. As of 1:30 p.m., 65 Ghanaians and 16 nationals of other ECOWAS countries had entered Lome from Aflao, while about 100 people left Lome for Aflao.
From Lome, we move to Accra, where it is emerging today that some parts of the Achimota Forest is no longer a forest reserve. It is following the coming into force of the Executive Instrument 144, gazetted on behalf of the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on April 19 this year by the Sector Minister Abu Jinapor. This means that effective May 1st this year, the parts affected in the Achimota Forest is no longer a forest reserve. The Forestry Commission had long ago planned an Achimota Eco Park project. It will be recalled that Graphic Online published in 2018 that the Achimota Eco Park project was expected to help improve the Achimota Forest, help curtail encroachment, and help eliminate the domestic and industrial waste dumped in the area. The project should have started in 2016, but had to be put on hold because of the legal action initiated by some 4 Ghanaians who were of the view that the deal would pose harm and other risks to residents of Accra.
The Sector Minister Abu Jinapor, in a text post on Facebook Tuesday evening, said Achimota Forest has not been sold and will not be sold. The Gazette, however, means that President Akufo-Addo, under the Executive Instrument 144, has lifted the 1927 classification of the Achimota Forest as a forest reserve. This is to pave way for a redesign, reclassification and development of the area. The executive instrument was gazetted on behalf of President Akufo-Addo by the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Abu Jinapor. There has been some public reactions since the gazette started circulating Tuesday morning. Some have expressed concern about the fate of the only extensive green area in Accra, on whether the green is going to give way for concrete.
And still in Accra, some trained nurses still looking for employment opportunities in the public sector today embarked on a street protest to register displeasure over the government's delay in giving clearance from their employment.
They argued that some of them completed training in 2019 and have still not been employed after 3 years of staying home. Known as the Coalition of Unemployed Nurses and Midwives Association, the members argued the Ministry of Health and Finance granted financial clearance to the 2019 batch in October 2020, but excluded the referral nurses. They marched through some principal streets in Accra and went to the Ministry of Health to submit a petition.
In the Bulgarian Embassy in Accra land dispute, the government has been advised by the sole Inquirer it appointed to look into the issues that it should sanction the private developer for breaking down the Bulgarian Embassy building without following due process.
A press statement issued by the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abu Jinapor, on Monday said the recommendation for sanction by the sole Inquirer has been forwarded to the Attorney General for advice. Justice Kwesi Furiata, a retired Justice of the High Court, was appointed the sole Inquirer by the government to investigate the circumstances surrounding the true ownership of the parcel of land in dispute between the Bulgarian Embassy in Accra and a private developer. After his investigation, he recommended that the private developer, Jojo Hagen, should be sanctioned for not following due process in the eviction of the alleged trespassers and the demolition of the building. He said Mr. Hagen must also be made to compensate the Bulgarian Embassy.
And before we go, this is for the information of those interested in enlisting in the Ghana Armed Forces that the 2022 enlistment process for regular career corps and short service commission officers has started. Details for the enlistment have been advertised in the Daily Graphic of Monday, May 16th. Grab a copy of the Monday edition of the newspaper for details.
The closing date for the online submission is Sunday, July 10, 2022. A statement signed and issued by Captain Michael Adulabi, the Director of Public Relations at the Ghana Armed Forces, cautioned interested applicants to be wary of persons who pose as middlemen with promise to help them join the forces. The Ghana Armed Forces has not employed any middleman or charged fees for enlistment, he stated. He therefore advised applicants to desist from paying money to such persons. Individuals who present themselves as middlemen, intermediaries or agents demanding payment to assist any candidate should be reported to the nearest military installation or police station. In addition, interested applicants who chose to pay monies to agents for help were equally culpable in the fraudulent act.
Graphic Online's News in Brief was brought to you by Graphic News Plus.
Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Visit us on graphic.com.gh for further information. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
Thank you for watching. For more news, visit graphic.com.gh and follow us on Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at Graphic Online TV. You can also follow us on Twitter at GraphicGH. I am Enoch Oda Oheniafa Frimpong.
Subscribe now.